Welcome to this short video demonstrating and introducing ScHARRMark. So ScHARRMark is a new online marking support tool that's been developed in ScHARR to help people marking to create feedback for their students' assignments. So this short video will explain a bit more about what ScHARRMark does and what to do if you want to use it. So ScHARRMark creates or helps create detailed personalised assignment feedback for your students' work. It uses a phrase bank that you develop and supply to me in order to pull phrases out and ultimately save you time when you're marking students' work. It also helps to encourage consistency in your marking, and it's particularly useful when there are marking teams, because you can be sure that regardless of how many different people are involved in the marking, the students will be getting similar amounts and styles of feedback. Having said that, it also allows you to create individualised and personalised feedback for each student, so it's not like everybody just getting the same text in their feedback. It's also criteria specific, so you can address each specific criteria within an assignment and sort of tell the students where they did well and where they need to improve more for each criteria. And it also has an optional auto grading facility. So this is the auto grading feature switched on. You can see a little illustration there. You can basically tick a box to show the scores or untick it to remove them, and you can see on this particular example there's a grade being calculated there. You can use ScHARRMark in conjunction with Turnitin or Feedback Studio, which is the new sort of grade mark tool within Turnitin, or you can use it with model assignments. So you can use it with either, because essentially all it's doing is creating text feedback for you, which you can copy and paste into Turnitin or a model assignment. It's already being used on various ScHARR modules with great success. So if you want to use ScHARRMark, how do you get started? Well, it's very easy to do. The first step is just to contact me, and what I will do is I will set up a blank Google Doc rubric template, a bit like the one that you can see on the screen there, which is essentially just sort of a marking grid or a matrix. It'll be blank. If you go in then and populate that for your module's assignment with stock phrases and standard content, I can use that to create a ScHARRMark assignment for you. And this information will be pulled in magically to ScHARRMark. And a quick reminder there that you can actually have more than one of these on your module. So if your module has multiple assessment components, I can create several, and I've done this already for some modules in ScHARR. So I'm going to do a quick demonstration now. So here we are at the ScHARRMark homepage, if you like. You can select one of the assignments that's already been set up, and you can see there's a few already here for various modules. I'm going to just select this top one, and then you see basically the ScHARRMark assignment template ready to mark your first assignment. So you need to use this obviously in conjunction with looking at a student submission. And first of all, on here you get a summary comments. So depending on how you feel this student has done overall, you can select one of these grade bands. So supposing the student's done, for example, let's say 58, you would select this band. You get some text here, automatically supplied, and you can read through that and you can make changes to anything that isn't correct or anything that needs tweaking. You can add new text by clicking in and typing here. Okay, I'm going to just try type extra comments, and when you finish typing, if you click out of the box, you'll notice that what it's doing is it's starting to develop some feedback on the right, and you will see that not only has it put the comments in that we've selected, but it's also included the extra comments that we typed. Now it's automatically trying to grade this assignment. As I said, you can switch it off by clicking this and all the scores will disappear. You can switch it back on by clicking again. Now this is just the summary comments. There's no grades attached with the summary for this. But if we start to move down, and now we're going to the first criteria, which is calculations. If we now select, let's say we think the student has done pretty well and got about 62 here, we can select this grade band. It pulls some text in here, some feedback. You'll notice it's automatically gone for 65%, which is the midway point between 60 and 69. Now I mentioned we were going to go for 62, so you can just overwrite this by clicking in here and doing 62. And you'll notice that it will automatically change the score for this particular criteria. So it's out of 20 marks, it's 13. If I click out, look, it's adjusted it to 12.4. And we look over to the right, and you can also see that it's starting to pull that score across into the end feedback too. And you'll also notice it's starting to build a final grade based on all of the feedback, all of the criteria. And if I could just continue with a few more of the criteria, so design of a 24-hour menu, I'm going to say the student didn't do too well here. They got 41, they were struggling. And I'm going to upgrade this to 41. Again, you'll notice this now changes to 5.1, and it's pulled the 5.1 across. It started to add the 5.1 and the 12.4 at the top to give a final grade. You may notice, and you can pull these little arrows down to give you some more space if you need it, that here there's some dots have been left, prompting you to actually personalize and add something in. Example, so you might want to put something in there. I'm just going to put rhubarb if I want something better to type right now. And you'll notice over on the right, as I click out of there, it's added rhubarb in. So this is how you can personalize and customize the feedback as you go along. So this is kind of how you do it. And you would just continue to add feedback and grades and customize as you go along for each of the assignments criteria until you've done all of them. To give that one 89, it was particularly good, the Code of Ethics. You will then click out, and at the bottom you can see this is now saying that this student is going to get 56.7 out of 100. And we've basically finished marking for this particular assignment. So what you do at the very end is you click into this feedback summary box on the right and just Control and A and then Control and C to copy it all, so all of that is on the clipboard. Then it's just a case of going into your Turnitin assignment or your mole assignment and basically pasting that in. Now here is one that I did earlier. So we're looking at a mole assignment. Actually, it was one that was marked last year, but you can see now how ScHARRMark has been used to populate the feedback summary here within Turnitin. And you can see this is classic ScHARRMark. It's got the criteria title, the marks for each particular criteria, and then a summary and some pointers for the student to read. Okay, and that's kind of how you do it.